layout today with these two photos of my grandson and my grandson with his grandfather for a birthday surprise. I'm doing this for a weekly challenge at schmel.com, and it was to use lots of layering, and I definitely succeeded in the end. I'm starting out by matting the photos on this black grid paper from Amy Tangerine from the Stitched collection, and it's called Felted. And then what I wanted to do was I wanted to really use that aqua background there. I've loved that paper. That's also Amy Tangerine Stitched, and it's called Scissors, and I've just never really been able to use it. I don't know what it was, but when I started this layout today, it was actually pretty easy. So what I'm showing you here is, because it's a square, I had to cut things off equally off of each side. So I just kind of cut halfway between two lines to get my square back again. And then I'm taking that blue polka dot paper from Finders Keepers. It's called Pursuit. And that's again Amy Tangerine. And I'm just going to cut a frame out of that paper because I think I might want to use some more of that paper under my layers, or I just love the paper so much I decided I might want to keep that to use for another layout, because I do still have a little bit of that Finders Keepers collection left. And now my ATG is going bonkers again on me. You have to hear this every time you see a layout from me lately. What I do when I do these frames, just because the back isn't that stable, I just put a little bit on each side and get that down just so that it goes down evenly. And then later on, I'll put more adhesive around it so it's a lot more stable. I'm using this paper here. This is another paper from Amy Tangerine Finders Keepers, but it's the last piece I have of it, so I don't have a name for it, but I think it's Finders Keepers. It might be Better Together now that I think about it, but it's one of those two collections. So it's a cool crosshatch design there. And I was thinking I was looking at a sketch or something, and I'm not. Actually, what I'm doing there is I'm watching videos. So I'm watching all of you when I'm doing my own videos. So I'm playing again with how I want layers to look, and what I'm doing, and all of that as we go. And I decided I liked that triangle paper, and I did flip it over to the back, but the black was just too dark amongst all those other layers. And what I'm doing is I'm just cutting, going, putting another layer in, and then moving forward. And still I'm playing again because I'm thinking about using that polka dot paper in those layers. We just can't be satisfied. And I think that crosshatch pattern is from Better Together. Now that I look at that other paper, I'm pretty sure it is. What I'm doing with each of these is I'm offsetting each layer just a little bit, and I'm also just making sure that lines don't line up as well, and that the borders around it are different. So everything else was more of a rectangular and offset. Then I took that blue paper, and you can't see it on the sides. You can only see it at the top and bottom. So there's, layers there. You can still see each of the layers, but not all of them. The triangle paper is that gray triangle paper that I used is from Amy Tangerine Stitched. It's called Loom. The leaf paper is Amy Tangerine Better Together Soap and Water. And then after I got all those layers down, of course, I looked at it and thought, oh, this would be so much better, and they would each be more distinctive if I just inked the edges. So instead of taking it all apart, I went risky and inked the edges with everything glued together. So that'll take a minute. And I'm using Dewdrop Memento Gray Flannel. That's one of my favorite inks to use for edges. So if I don't want something as dark as a black, this is really nice because it's actually pretty dark, but it's not quite as stark. And I thought that would work well because I do have some light papers in this mix. All right, so I said this was for Shamel Weekly Challenge to use lots of layers. I used 7 layers in this layout right now. So I used 5 layers of paper underneath the photo there, and then I have 2 layers of paper in the background. So it can be done, and I do like to layer. You know that well. I probably use at least 3 pieces of pattern paper in every layout I do. So now I'm just kind of playing around with different die cuts or cut aparts. That Happy Day cut apart is from the Amy Tangerine Stitched collection. It's from a cut apart paper called Jump Stitch. So is that Enjoy It, but that is eventually not going to make it on my layout. And now I'm going through the sticker book that belongs to Better Together, the Amy Tangerine Better Together, and I'm just pulling things that I think might work with the colors on this layout. So not everything I'm choosing will end up on this page, but most of it does actually. And I kind of like the colors of this family, and since it is a layout about family, I kind of toyed with using that, but I'm going to find something else I like better eventually. It just wasn't fitting right or feeling right. I think it was too rectangular because the other one is rectangular. So then I found this die cut in the Better Together die cut shapes, and it says these are the days, and that's where the family came from as well. And I also found that ampersand, and I kind of liked it because it's my grandson plus his other grandfather, so it's and, you know, grandson plus grandfather or something. I don't know. Anyway, found that, loved that. The colors work there too, but again, I didn't love the shape. That journaling sticker there is from the sticker book for Better Together. And I was being very risky there because I peeled it off the photo. I had gotten it a little bit too far to the left. The layout is a bit weighted on the right side of the page just because both photos, they're looking, one of them definitely they're looking towards the left, and then the other one where he is wearing that life vest, it's definitely towards the other side. So I kind of liked that banner border strip up there, but wasn't totally convinced that that was the right thing. And once I found that Happy Day, which came from that cut apart sheet again, from that stitched cut apart sheet, I moved it up towards the top, and I really liked it because it gave the ampersand a place to rest. The puffy sticker there that you see is from the Better Together puffy stickers. They just call them stickers, and I'm remembering now, oh yeah, that's right, I need to ink these things. And it really does help with the definition against the background. And now you see me, the edges were coming up a little bit there, so I actually moved that around. Now I was debating putting this ampersand up on some sort of pop dot or my foam tape, but the more I looked at it, the more I decided I didn't want to do that because it's already so big. I didn't want it to call any more attention to itself than it already was. So that's why I didn't pop that up. So the dimension in that cluster is actually coming from the puffy sticker, and I'll put some more layers in there. And remember, this layout's all about layers, so I keep layering things on top of things. So I have those 7 layers of paper, and then I start layering my embellishments, and there's quite a bit of layering there. And when you layer embellishments, what you want to keep in mind is that they should touch as many other layers of things as they can. So a good example would be the ampersand. The ampersand is touching the Happy Day cut apart, but it's also touching the one background paper and then all of the photo paper layers. Even the puffy sticker up there is touching 2 layers. All the journaling cluster, the sticker, journaling sticker, and these are the days are touching 6 layers plus each other as well. And what that does is it just brings things together within the layout. It makes them more cohesive. The other thing that will help that is inking edges, because it looks like they belong. Especially if you're pulling things from different manufacturers, or different collections. That will really, really help there. So I also, in the meantime, as I was talking, I grabbed the puffy stickers again and I put that little XO right in the bottom right corner of These Are the Days. And then I wanted something else in this cluster down in the bottom to sort of ground it a little bit. And I grabbed that border strip from the stitched scissors paper. The scissors paper is the aqua paper in the background. And that's just the border strip. So what I did is I just cut those hearts off. I put a little flag on the end of them just so that it made a little bit more sense to me, although you wouldn't really need to do that. Inked the edges and stuck those down. So now both of them sort of have grounding elements in them. Both of the clusters have grounding elements, although I don't know how you, I guess I can't call the heart at the top grounding necessarily, but I am. So I wanted a title. This is all about, it was his grandpa's birthday weekend, and normally mom and dad and the kids get to go up, but mom and dad were really busy and they couldn't this time. So what they did, unbeknownst to grandpa, is they sent my grandson up with his great aunt for the weekend, for the long weekend, and he got to spend that time with grandpa, and he is definitely grandpa's boy, most definitely. So pretty cool that that they were able to do that. It was a great surprise for him. So I just grabbed I know I'm going to want to call this Grandpa's birthday surprise, or Grandpa's birthday is what I was thinking about, Grandpa's birthday surprise, and then realized, oh, I don't know that I really have room to get surprise in there, and I wanted birthday to be prominent. So I grabbed my glitter alpha from American Crafts Thickers. It's called Freedom, and I think it may have come with one of the Pebbles July 4th collections a few years ago, but the alphabet is called Freedom, so that, you know, if you're looking for that. Getting my eye on there to dot it. And now I know I need to do the top of the title in something smaller, and I was thinking about some sort of blue alpha, but then I decided that would maybe call too much attention or pull too much attention away from birthday. So I'm being very careful when I'm looking for this, because I want you to be able to see it on the background. So an aqua alphabet, just any aqua alphabet, is not going to work here. What I did is I went to my October afternoon mini markets. These are in teal and black is the color, and they are from the Very Merry collection, which is an older collection. And I fortunately had enough letters to do this. I do like that there's the darkness of the black there, so it's calling attention to it. You're not fading away. It's not totally fading away there. And so I had enough letters to do Grandpa, and as I was looking, I realized I have enough letters to do Surprise, and I bet that this will look great right below Birthday, which it really does. I really like the way that looks. And as I do this, I'm going to actually miss the first R in Surprise, but I did, when I was looking at the layout right before I took it to be photographed, I looked and went, oh, I missed the R. So you'll notice in the still shots that that's okay. And what I did here, as I always do, I look before I start to look at the date, and then I forget the date. So I was just peeling back that one photo because I knew that's where I'd written the date of this event on. So I'm just grabbing my Slick Writer. This one is actually from scrapbook.com. And I'm writing on that journaling sticker because it is a slick surface, and it wouldn't have, if I'd used my other journaling pen, it would not have worked. So that's really basically the end of the layout. It's actually one of my more favorite layouts that I've made lately. I've done a couple of layouts I really, really love in the last week or so. And this is one of them. The still shots and the detail shots are coming up. Hope you are all well. Bye.